Okay, cruise family, I'm gonna vent on this one. I'm currently on a cruise, and I'm being lazy, and I'm actually gonna go down to the casino in a little bit and go gamble. But I was on Facebook, and you kind of get sidetracked. You're scrolling through, and I'm on a group, and it's the Crown and Anchor group, a Crown and Anchor Society group for Royal Caribbean. As you can see from my videos, I'm pretty much pro Royal Caribbean. It's one of my favorite cruise lines. I will travel in other ones. I'm not going to badmouth any other cruise lines, but Royal's just treated me really good. So I continue to cruise with Royal to show my support. And Royal has been there for us every time we take a cruise. They accommodate us. They put up with us. I guess you could say with some of our requests, and they always know how to make the situation really good. So back to my venting. Okay, so I was on the Crown and Anchor Society Facebook page, and one of these posts came up, and it had like 300 responses, and some lady was saying that, let me see if I could just, that Royal Caribbean is one of her favorite cruise lines, but since she sees that the cost are going up, that she has been traveling on different cruise lines that are not Royal Caribbean, which it's a free country. It's good to try variety and stuff like that, but she's putting cost to make her decision. So, it's just like when you go to the store and you want to go buy a gallon of milk, for an example. There's probably 10, maybe 5 or 10 different companies that makes all these different varieties of milk, and the prices, they fluctuate. You could get a cheap store brand of milk, or you can get what you're used to because maybe you like the flavor, or maybe you like something about it. I don't really know how to compare it, but you'll see my point. So milk is milk, so to speak, or whatever. And then some of you guys are like, no, I prefer my favorite or my brand because I like the taste, or I like the quality, etc., etc. Well, for me, that's how I see Royal Caribbean. And for what this lady was saying is like, she's choosing other cruise lines, and and she's choosing them because of the price. So she's going by the cheaper the cruise. She's like, they're all in her mind, I guess she's thinking they're all the same, and the cheaper, it shouldn't matter. As long as you're on a cruise, you're going to enjoy yourself, and I'm sure you will to a degree. But I think to a degree also, you're going to get what you pay for. If you go too cheap, don't think that 5-star service that you're getting on Royal or on Royal Caribbean ships, even if you go on Celebrity, because that's also part of Royal, I don't think you're going to get that same level at a drastically reduced price. I don't think you're going to get the food, the service, the way that they take care of you on if you go too cheap. And my situation, and I'm sure others probably may feel the same way, some of you won't, but I honestly believe you get what you pay for. I don't mind paying for good service. If these people are looking after you, greeting you, making small jokes, it's kind of weird. You would actually have to cruise on a Royal to see what I'm talking about. If you have your other favorite cruise line, give Royal a chance and just try it. But research your ship and take a ship that you think that you would like. I happen to like some of the larger ships. I've done some of the small ones. I still will do the small ones. It just depends on what type of mood I am or what type of getaway I'm trying to do. But lately I've been choosing the larger ships, the Oasis class. And man, the service that I get on these ships, you feel pampered. I went into town, or when I had came in Rome, and the people in Rome that were here, some of them were rude. You could feel there's no sincerity, which they really don't give a damn about you because you're a tourist. They're trying to make their money. They're trying to make their living, and blah 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 blah. And you could feel that to some degree. They're just trying to get over on you, make a few bucks. So I couldn't wait from coming in because you've been traveling all day. I'm meeting these people, and I'll give you an example how messed up it was. We got a taxi from the airport to Rome, and you can't get near the terminal. Like, they won't let the cars near the terminal. You have to catch a bus, which the bus is free, to get to the cruise terminal, which is only like 5 minutes away, but it's a long walk. It's not worth it to even try to walk that. So right outside the gate, I'm getting on a free bus, and it's provided by the cruise lines. There's a guy right outside, and he goes, you don't want to do that. Come, we have the taxi. We can take you in with the taxi. You know, just come. We can get you closer with a taxi. And I'm like, why would I do that when I'm 10 steps away from just getting on a free bus that's going to be provided for free? And he's like, no, you have to pay for that. Come. And I knew he was lying, because the lady that we had just caught the taxi with had told us that it's free. Don't use the taxis that are right there. Just get on the bus, and it's free. There's multiple buses, and there's plenty of spaces to sit down, and all of that other stuff. But long story short, I felt that low character. I was like, man, just to get me on this. This is like mentally thinking, just get me on the ship so I can get away from these people, so I can relax and start my vacation or whatever. I don't have time for this, you know. And sure enough, I get on the ship, and, you know, they're like, because sometimes they can see the notes in the computer or whatever, and they're like, welcome back, blah, 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 blah. Our stateroom attendant, we didn't know her from any previous cruises, but I think because we're in a suite, they put the best of the best as far as customer service at these suites. So she was really, really nice, and she already knew, you know, the missus has a coconut allergy. She had already knew. There were things that we had requested before we had got on board. They had already taken care of everything. There was a plate with chocolate-covered strawberries. They brought water. There was all kind of stuff that they do, because I think they read the notes and they can see how many cruises you've been on. But Royal does that. Royal, it's like they go a step and beyond. And when we were in the, I'm going to back up just a little bit just to show you the level of service. When we were in the cruise terminal, the missus takes more cruises than I do. So we were coming through, and we're on the Allure of the Seas, since it's been amplified. And we were there, and the Allure had been in Galveston. I cruise out of Galveston sometimes, and the Allure had been there a few years ago. And one of the guys from the restaurant who had waited on her before, he was like, oh, miss, I remember you. Welcome back, blah, 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 blah. And to tell you a short story of him with her, she wanted lactose-free milk for her. I don't know if it was to drink, or if it was, I don't know what it was, for the coffee or to drink or something, but she had requested it. And they have it available. It's available on the ship. So this gentleman, his name is Greg, he's like, ma'am, we don't have it here, because I think we were in Johnny Rockets at the time. He goes, but give me a second. I will go up to the Windjammer, or I will go up to to another restaurant, and I'm going to get it, and I'll bring it back for you. And so she's like, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. I can skip it. It's not a big deal. He goes, no, madam, no, I will take care of it for you. And he did. This was several years ago. So he went and he did that. He got her the lactose-free milk, and it made her day. She was happy. I was like, man, he made her happy. I'm gonna have a better cruise. But now you remember, he did that for her, and that was years ago. And when we were coming to the cruise terminal, he remembered her, and he was like, he was trying to remember her name, and he goes, oh yeah, I remember you. You were the one in Johnny Rockets with the lactose-free milk. And she's like, yeah. And he goes, oh, welcome back. This is where I'm going to be at on this ship. If you want, come to the restaurant. I would love to to wait on you, or, for service and this and that. And tonight we went, and it was so personable, and it was so cool. And so, it was kind of like your family, so to speak. So how can you really put a price on that or whatever? So I don't mind to spend more. If it's too much more, then I'll choose a different cruise package, or maybe I'll call and see if call Casino Royale and say, come on, man, please, work me out a deal. But really, the prices haven't gone up They haven't gone up that much. Um,